up, Weekend Warrior Project? I've got my buddy Stu here, and we're going over Project Si-ERRA and some unfortunate news. Alright guys, we've got Stu here driving to get his impressions of the EP3 Si-ERRA, Project Si-ERRA. So, you know, as far as, you know, you've driven quite a few cars in the past. You used to own a, what was it, a EM1, right?
Yeah, I had an EM1, that was my first car. And then I got an Integra. It was a 2000. It's screaming at me to put my seatbelt on, so I'm gonna do that so it's not annoying me. Which is a good thing, people. Wear your seatbelt. Anyways, later I got a 2000 Acura Integra GSR, which I absolutely loved, and then had an unfortunate accident, as most Hondas do. But yeah, I've driven quite a few Hondas. I actually have a really good affinity for them.
He's a Honda bro.
For sure. Have my heart.
Yeah. So, you know, so you have an experience with like the GSR and like another Civic before. How does the EP3, this is a 2005 Civic Si,
yeah, how
does it compare, you know, with the mods that I've got on it? And, you know, because you drove kind of a modded Honda as well before in the past.
Yeah.
So, what are your impressions of this EP3?
I really like it. I mean, it handles really well for what it is, it being a hatch. You know, it's got the short wheelbase. So when you corner and stuff, I mean, the cornering is really tight, really nice. A lot of control in and out. That's probably one of my favorite parts about these cars is just the handling.
Yeah.
And then the ability to, you know, throw VTEC in and out.
Yeah.
Room. But yeah, I really enjoy it. It's got a really nice gearbox. The steering's really tight. The brake is nice. It's pretty responsive for a factory car. There's nothing, you know, done to the engine or anything like that, but it's got really good throttle response. Overall, really nice vehicle.
Yeah. So with this engine, what I've done is I've talked about in the Project Si-ERRA overview video that I did. I did a K&N intake, and then I did the transmission swap, and it's got a different gear ratio on it, which really I probably attributes the most to how responsive it is, because it's a 4.7 final drive. Still, it should still be, I mean, it doesn't add much horsepower or anything, and, you know, the intake and the exhaust together might add like 5 overall.
Yeah, 5 or 10.
Yeah, so really, it's probably, this car's probably only making like,
it still digs.
Yeah. Probably only making like 150. But it's certainly torquier than when I started.
Yeah.
You know, also I did the NGK laser iridium spark plugs. And so I noticed immediately after having those installed that it just got so much more responsive. But yeah, can you kind of like talk to the feel as compared to like some of your other Civics for this one?
Mine was a coupe, so it was a little bit longer of a wheelbase. So it has they all have very similar handling, I think because of just the shortness of the wheelbase, that this one, it just holds the corner a little bit better. And I'm pretty sure this one has a double wishbone suspension system.
In the rear.
In the rear, right. And that just allows the car to balance very well. There's not a lot of body roll. Like with my Civic, I got a true coilover suspension kit. It was just a Pro Street kit, and it made a world of difference. But it's like this one already has it built in. It's like you don't really need it on a daily driver. Like if you want to upgrade it and get a stiffer ride, that's definitely an option. But truly with this car, you don't really have to do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I really like. So in the front they did McPherson struts, which are your typical like struts like this. Whereas with double wishbone, it's got the two arms that kind of move tandemly, so the wheel grips the road more.
yeah.
What's great about this car is with the like dual suspension that they've kind of got going on. The back end likes to kind of like play a little bit, and you can kind of feel it when you got like the front end of the car. When you got the front end of the car pulling, it'll still kind of like let you know like there's a little bit of fun to be had here.
Yeah, and I really love the fact that you went with a higher gear ratio with the transmission, and then you have that extra gear, so when you're on the highway, you can cruise going fast enough.
Yeah, 55 in Mexico.
Yes, 55 people.
With our state drivers.
Yes.
Right, because we don't drive over 55 in the United States.
Never.
No, you're kidding. It's illegal. But, yeah, so I guess on to the unfortunate news for Project Si-ERRA. She is for sale. She is listed on Craigslist as we speak right now. And it can be yours. Starting price is $4,000. Now that includes the transmission. That's basically new. Yeah, plus everything else. You put a lot into it. I did the Hassport motor mounts, which really like stops the engine from popping, which really allows you to connect in those gears. It's like before with the factory motor mounts, the motor like shakes a lot more because they're rubber, and these are rubber as well, but they're a denser rubber because
Composite, right?
yeah, it's like a composite rubber. And I almost went with no, I'm sorry, these are they're like polymer. That's what it is. They're the polymer ones, the Hassports. And I almost went with the Vibronics. I don't know. I'll put the name here, like right here. But yeah, the ones that I'm trying to talk about, they're like a thicker rubber, but these ones are a polymer, and I went with that just because I didn't want the motor to move around when I was driving it. I took this car, and I fully trust this car on the tail of the Dragon. As you've seen in previous video, it was great. When on a corner, the car was just really flat, and then there was another Honda enthusiast who was riding with me there, and he was telling me that he loves just how flat this car drives, and it's like surprising because he wasn't expecting it from the EV3, but
That's funny because they're so underrated.
yes.
Everyone's like, oh, well, this is the worst hatch ever made, but truly when you get in and drive them, you find out they're completely different.
It's an easy car to fall in love with.
Yeah, it is. It wasn't my, top choice. But yeah, this car has definitely grown on me over the life that you've had in the past few years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Stu was there when I first bought the car, back when it was just black and silver, and then I slowly over time included all the red accents and all that.
Yeah, it's a funny story. Alex was like, I think I want to get a new car, and I want to get a stick shift, but I don't know how to drive a stick shift. Will you go with me?
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, yeah. So we went and we test drove a few different vehicles. We landed on this one, and as soon as he bought it, we went back to a high school that was close to our house. Spring Hill, and I proceeded to teach Alex the art of driving a manual transmission, and he is forever changed because of it. He's never going to be the same, for sure.
Never ever. Never ever. I've been ruined for cars.
Yeah, definitely. It will ruin you. And they're slowly dying, which is sad.
I'd love to drive a car with like the dual clutch with the paddle shifters.
Yeah.
I think that would, I mean, it's not going to be as much fun, but I don't know, maybe it will. I've just always wanted to try ones with like good paddle shifters.
Yeah, I mean, I've done the ones that are automatic, but they also have like the manual mode where you can use the paddle.
Yeah.
And I've never driven one that's a true dual clutch.
Yeah.
Where you have to, you use that with the majority of the time.
Where it responds instantly.
Right, yeah. So it's like, there's no lag in it at all, but
yeah.
I'd like to test that out. I've tried the other ones. It's okay. It's not the same feel. It's not the same motion. There's something truly artful about, having to shift and the right clutch placement and, where to downshift and where to rev match. And it's just, I don't know, there's something special about it. It just grabs you.
Yep. Agreed. It is. It's just like, I drive to Nashville every day to work, and like traffic is getting terrible.
Yeah.
Like driving a manual at times can be like really awful, but I have to say I enjoy the ride a lot more, even though like it's more work and all that and a little bit more stressful. I just enjoy the ride more, So, but yeah, so the car in question, what did I get to replace Project Si-ERRA? Well, it doesn't have a name yet, but I got a 2018 Ford Focus ST, and we're gonna hop into that in a minute and get Stu's impressions on it, and I'll give you mine as well as compared to this car. Let me tell you one thing before we get in there is the clutch is so different. Like, I drove this car yesterday to get it cleaned up and ready for Cars and Coffee this morning, and man, the clutch throw on this car is like this, and then when you have the Focus, it's like this. And it's not a bad clutch on the Focus. I mean, it's responsive right where you want it to be, but this, going back and forth between this and that, man, it's something else entirely. It's a completely new monster. But yeah.
I gotta be honest with you, I'm completely lost right now. This is a road I've never driven down, but like, ideally around the area that we're in, it kind of makes sense. So I'm just kind of on an adventure right now, and I'm enjoying it. I just wanted to let you know, I have no idea where I am.
We're lost.
That's for you, YouTube. Awesome. This is real life, people.
Awesome.
Fly road. Okay.
Santa Fe Parkway.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Santa Fe Pike. Well, awesome. Well, we're gonna get unlost and hop in the ST.